Welcome to another hashtag 530 live. We don't have the young boy with us. He's a lightweight. He's copped out this one. So it's left to the two old cronies. Me and Simon.
Statler or Waldorf, eh?
Yeah. And we're going to talk the challenge of marketing your business if you're a small business. This is, I think, was something that Simon had raised when we were discussing around what to talk about. So I'll let Simon kick off. You know, it was an idea and a topic of his.
Yeah, I think we're a business that's got 9 of us in the business, and when I'm talking to people on network calls and things like that, they say, "Oh, it's all right for you. You're dedicated on marketing, and your whole role is to get out and talk about what you do with the business." And I said, "Well, hold on a minute, No disrespect, but we might be, 9 people and we might be a bigger business, but we still have to market the business. How do you market your business?" And they say, "Oh, I don't get time for that." And I'm like, no, 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 no. If you don't market your business, you haven't got anything to sell. You got nothing. You can't talk to people. You can't. You got no beans to count at the end of the day, have you? So, it's always an interesting one. But so I thought, let's bring it to the table tonight, and I know what it's like to be a solo entrepreneur, as they're called, or a sole trader, and it can be really challenging. So I thought it'd be a good topic to talk about tonight.
No, yeah, I agree. I think it is one of the. I see it particularly within manufacturers, but I also see it with like the smaller businesses, because the smaller businesses we're working in the business anyway. So, and it was the old adage, in and on the business, and I hate using those terminologies, but they are right. The sales and marketing side, as a small business, I believe 80% of your time should be on your marketing, sales and marketing as you're building. And as you grow, then it becomes a little bit more difficult, but then you might be able to outsource certain things. But marketing is an absolute fundamental for small businesses, and I never have got that the mentality of, in a downturn, of switching stuff off and reining back, because the thing you want to be doing is pushing it forward and upping the level, if anything.
I think sometimes it comes down to resources, doesn't it, and capacity of how many people they've got in the business and things like that. But there are various things people can do. When people say, "Oh, we find it with the websites. Oh, we don't get time to blog." And I said, "Well, hold on a second. We don't know what to blog about." Well, I go, "Whoa, whoa, 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 hold on a second. Let me just ask you a quick question. Can you take some time out to find 12 articles to write about in your business?" And they go, "Oh, yeah, I suppose so." Well, just write 12 articles in one day when you get some downtime. And again, it does come down to the downtime, but at least you've written one and released them once a month. It's something you could do quite easily. You come up with, literally the topics and what people actually want to know, and you can answer those questions in a blog article, and happy days. That's one simple thing that can be done, and it's free of charge to do that one.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that, talking about the blog article, one of the things you could do is, there's 2 things here for me, is go to the Ask the Public, I think it is.
Answer the Public.
Answerthepublic.com.
.com.
And you put in there your subject matter, and then it'll come up with all these different questions that have been put in. Answer them. Just answer them and work through them. So you've got content material there to work with straight off on different aspects of whatever you deal with. Whether it's manufacturing, whether it's hairdressing, beautician, whatever it is. Websites, business coaching. Just answer those things. The next thing is I always find it interesting when somebody says, "I haven't got enough time." Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have. When you start monitoring and doing activity sampling, I'm an ex-time study engineer. You have time, and this was, I think, the mentors that I had early on in the business always said to me, and that's always ingrained, is that you've got to be working on your business for at least 90 minutes a day. So that's always been one of my key pieces of advice for anybody. And at an early stage, not even at an early stage, really, at every stage, working on the business is sales and marketing. What's the next creative thing you're going to be doing to put your business out there? Very minimum, at least 2 90-minute sessions a week, but it should be every day. I'm always working on the board here around what's my next creative marketing campaign, what's my next blog. I did a blog yesterday, updated a blog yesterday as well. Keeping it refreshed all the time. It is, just a matter of blocking out time doing it. And as you say, if it's 12 blogs, yeah, one day, bang them out, because your creativity, once you've started, it'll be there.
And the thing is with those blogs as well is getting in contact with people that you can guest blog on as well. So obviously getting those to other people to say, look, here's an article I've written. Here's how, publish this on your site. Put a backlink onto my site for me, will you? And happy days. They've got some content. You've got traffic going through to your website or to social media or whatever, and then opportunities, and all that is an email away. It's literally just getting that contact to say, will you accept a guest blog? So again, it's just a bit of time. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
So and planning as well. I mean, it drives me potty when I hear people don't plan. I'm like, oh my gosh, really? You wouldn't get in the car and drive to Scotland without knowing the route, would you? Although you might just follow your sat-nav these days, but most people will have a quick look at it first to see what's going on. And it's the same with business, as you've seen for many years with obviously the academy and the coaching and mentoring side. But, even should be the same with the marketing as well. So, even now, we're sat in March, we are planning things for Christmas this year already, and people are saying, you're mad. And I'm, no, we've got spare capacity. Fill the capacity here in the team and think about Christmas. So the graphics and that are done for Christmas early. None of this catching up with us on the 1st of December going, where's our opening and closing times over Christmas this year? We've already decided that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's coming.
Yeah, and the thing is it takes that rush element out of it as well, because you have planned it. So you're not, you're not spur of the moment and feeling the pressure as well from that point of view. So do plan it in. I would always say plan it in. There was something else I was going to say around the, again, planning in, even on social media, is I plan in. I have a, sometimes I do it. So at least one week I'll do like a random side of posting, even from social media point of view. But then the next sort of like few weeks, they will be absolutely aligned with something that I'm marketing as a campaign. So even though they're different posts, they'll all be triggered back to something that I'm actually marketing, or one service or one product I'm marketing. So again, I always plan the campaign in and around it. And it doesn't take much to do. It's all mine is done on Excel. Just little blocks that just say this is what you're doing. That's it, and planned in it. Luke's.
It's funny. It's funny. I was on a call earlier, and someone was actually saying about Excel and you shouldn't be using Excel anymore and all this lot. And I'm like, what? Everything I've got's on Excel. It's great. And my role is marketing. So it's like I don't have to be an accountant to use Excel. We're using Excel to actually plan things and look at what we can do. And simple things, as I said, like the quick link through to the answerthepublic.com website. For us, if we want to think of something for our clients or for people or people we want to help as well, I'm stuck. We literally zip onto that website and put something in there and away it goes. And some great content there as well. And of course, social media, as we know, we can always schedule posts and stuff like that. If not, we get someone to do it. So. But I think one of the best words of advice that was given to me when I started out in my journey, which was 2009 now, was spend an hour on a Monday morning just doing your marketing for the week. Now I know that's not as easy to say that, but take an hour out right at the beginning during your downtime before you actually get into any form of productivity and operational sort of side. Because at the end of the day, if you don't market, you haven't got a business.
Yeah, and that's I've always said, because me, I'm with the manufacturing side. I've always said I've been brought up as an engineer on lean manufacturing theory, constraints, Six Sigma. So it's always been about driving efficiencies within your operations. I then got into the sales and marketing later on and the growth and strategy side. But I've always said you can have the most efficient factory in the world, but if you ain't got sales, you're dead. It's as simple as that. So you've always got to be, whether you call it a sales funnel, customer value journey, you've always got to be filling that piece, always looking ahead, and not taking your eye off the ball, because when it does, you do drop a bollock really on that. It was when you do take your eye off the ball from that sales and marketing point of view. But there's loads of different options. I've always said routines and consistency will get results. So, planning, blocking a time. I'm going to spend 30 minutes on LinkedIn, making new connections or commenting on people and getting to and building that know, like and trust factor. I'll plan in an hour on Monday to do my social media for the week. If you can't find an hour and a half to do that and it's done for the week, there's something majorly wrong, And you need to look at your time. You know.
Yeah, collecting testimonials, I mean, obviously we know that that's a key thing to do as well, and obviously publicising those as well. But even now, I mean, during this period of COVID, I've set people a little challenge, and I say, come on, how much money do you think we're investing in our own marketing? And they go, oh, hundreds and hundreds of pounds. I'm like, no, we're not. We didn't cut back on our marketing. We cut back on our marketing cost, because one of the first things we looked at when COVID kicked in was, what cost us money, what cost us time, and let's focus on the time, because we've got so much of this thing around. Didn't have so much time before. Now we've got so much of it. Let's utilize it. So simple things like just talking to people, catching up with clients that we've already supplied and sold something to. Getting out to a lot of the network meetings at the moment, all on Zoom, but also where people get the presentation nerves sometimes of presenting in front of an audience with a screen and a PowerPoint or whatever. I mean, you know where I'm coming from here, because I absolutely thrive on it. I absolutely love being in front of an audience. But all of a sudden, those that are nervous of that have got this opportunity of all they've got to do is share their screen and talk about something they know. And happy days, they've got, an opportunity to present their business. So again, just if people are looking at a way to market their business and don't like standing in front of a room, get onto a network meeting and be a speaker at one of these online meetings.
Yeah, there are so many opportunities to get your business out there. Online networking, social media. You need to know which platforms are working for your business and your ideal clients are on. And I would always say, if you're new to this, is to maximise one platform before you try and conquer the whole host of them. There is just so many different ways. I mean, we did speak around this last week, but we spoke around digital marketing and saying why do people not utilise digital marketing? Is it necessarily digital marketing, or is it just marketing in general? I wonder why we switch it off in certain times. So like we've got now. Why I can't get past it, because it's not something I would do. It seems counterintuitive to me to do that, and I've always wondered where it came from, because it seems to be such a common theme to do.
So where I think that comes from is flight or fight. At the end of the day, we are normally people that are switching off their marketing. They're going to get protective of something. Protective of their product, service, their business, or whatever. Fair enough, no problem. But at the end of the day, all you're doing is putting your arm around it. You're kind of cutting off your future growth and an opportunity to get out there and meet new people, but also show people you're still alive. Because obviously, people switching off the marketing. That's the message that's going out there. Hey, I'm not interested in any more business, or I don't want any more, or by the way, give me a break. I don't need it. Or I just want to hide. So just to literally. Why they switch off, I don't know, but I think it's just like the protective way that people look at it and think, right, okay, we're in a situation. We saw a lot of it during the recession in 2008 and 2009. A lot of companies stopped their marketing and then found it difficult to recover. Again, COVID. Even those businesses that have been closed, I've been saying to them, do not stop your marketing. Even if you're just doing a comical video of you guys messing around with hair products that you can't sell because you can't actually give them to somebody, or talk about the products online or something. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much time. Hardly any cost to it. And these days as well, video is so cheap to be able to produce our own videos. Whereas before, we're always thinking, it's going to cost £500-600 to do some filming. But most people accept, especially with what we've been through with COVID, just an amateur video, even with you and I sitting here, neither of us are going to be the next Piers Morgans, but reality, we're still putting content out there. So
yeah, I mean, that's the thing is when you think about this, we've sat here now, and I'm just thinking through around this. So you will see this going out. So we're using Zoom. Okay, I pay for Zoom because it goes on. We have I have meetings that go on for longer than an hour, but for this probably didn't. I wouldn't need it if we were doing this. Because we do it for 30 minutes, and I think you'll have 45 minutes free. So free. OBS, which is open broadcast software, free. It's got a PowerPoint background on there, which is okay. But most people, you could do it on Canva, you could do it on another graphics thing that's got the background and you're marketed on, free. So in essence, all you're giving is your time. You've set it up and put it out there, and then you've got your branding and everything going out on a live, like this Facebook. We've got people on here that, there's a few watching now. One's liked it. I think the one last week it's been seen 530 odd times. Free, really, other than your time. Okay, not true free, but if you've got time, do it. Get it done. It's just, it's just another platform to get out there, and and as if you've seen, people have probably seen, is this that we take this and this will go on to LinkedIn tomorrow because it's recorded, downloaded, and put out onto LinkedIn, then put out onto Instagram, put out onto Twitter over a period of 2 weeks. So the content is repurposed. It's just multiple uses. It's an asset. Use it as an asset.
And that's what I was talking about the other day. These Zoom calls, we can actually take this call and do so much with it, because you've mentioned OBS and the open broadcasting software, which again is a free product out there. But we can also extract the audio and put it onto the podcast, as we've been talking about. There's the YouTube video route as well to go. And of course, as I said before on the presentation I did the other day, you got the opportunity of recording some content with people and actually repurposing that, obviously with permission. But why not do it with clients and record a testimonial? On Happy Days, you've got video testimonial, put it out there, and people can actually hear people singing about you.
Yeah, like you started off there. If you thought you'd say, I'm going to get, I don't know, 12 bits or 12 blogs out there. So 400 or 500 words, well, you might go to 600 words. You get that out there. The following day, you spend half an hour reading that out, or half an hour for the next sort of like 12 days reading that out. There's 12 podcasts. There's 12 weeks worth of podcasts you could do.
Yep.
You can then extract that then into 5 posts and stuff. And I mean, I talk about this a lot, creating 5 posts per blog that go out on social media, link back to your blog into your website. So you've taken, I don't know, 1 day's worth of content, 12 blogs, and created sort of like probably 3 to 6 months worth of social media posts. Can't beat that for 1 day, can you?
No, absolutely not. And I think it's also key, to measure obviously any time that's invested in this, but also what comes from it as well, because it's so motivating when you know that you give your time, or you invest your time in something, and all of a sudden you get a result, and it is great when you get that. For us, I mean, obviously the networks are always great for us to learn, to keep meeting people, to keep talking. And being seen as well, which has been good. But I suppose the other one that that we don't really talk about is what can we do, like, with our communities, where we live. What can we do as a business to actually spend time with people. We've been doing bits with local colleges, local schools. I've only come off a call today about what we can do for young people locally. To us, that's part of our marketing strategy as well, as knowing that we've actually added value to people, and that's what we do with the business here. And there's no reason why people shouldn't do that, because people see and they hear things, and it's all about word of mouth at the end of the day, isn't it? So if you can do something positive in communities, get out there and do it as well, because again, that's just giving your time up and adding value to people.
Yeah, I like just that corporate social responsibility side of it is, younger generation in particular, love anything like that around what are your values and your principles that you're applying into the world. What experiences am I going to get in working with you? And all this does play a part in people getting to know your business. It is you can't underestimate any of it really from that side. Is there any one tip? I mean, I've said the thing for me is I've said, because it was drummed into me earlier on. Because I found it hard the first time around. I went through a major shit at the fan job when I first started up. And until I got the mentors and that side saying to me, 90 minutes on your business, marketing, this, that, and the other. So mine has always been, make time for that marketing. Have you got any, say routines and consistency equals results? What would you, from your side?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a spreadsheet. It's called Clive. Don't ask me why, but the spreadsheet's called Clive. If anybody breaks into our system, they're not going to look for Clive. They're going to look for like balance sheet or profit and loss. They're not going to look for Clive. But they've got a spreadsheet called Clive. So in case you didn't realise, and you do break in tonight, it's called Clive. But then you got to get through the password. So what Clive does is literally got all the marketing ideas that we've got. It's got them graded and rated. So maybe produce a list of ideas that you think you can market your business and grade them, and then measure that as well. The investment you're putting in, how much time it's costing you, how much money it's costing you, and then what is your return on that as well. So that's one thing I would say doing that. Also within there, we've got all the keywords for what we think people look for of us and our competitors. So we can actually gauge where we are as a business against others in that area as well with a quick hyperlink, literally. Click on this, away it goes. I literally have got all the local business networks and the Chamber of Commerce and everything in there. So all I have to do is literally go through the spreadsheet, click, in it goes to the events page. I can see what's coming up, book in the diary, which actually became the Zyri, the Zoom diary, actually, throughout COVID. But the other thing I've done as well is, and I'm really guilty of this, I get dragged into Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups, and I think I really should post more in there. So what I've actually added to it recently is a list of all the groups I'm in and the hyperlink. So one day, a month, I go through it and go, right, I'm in that group, oh my gosh, I haven't posted anything, let's go and do it. And it just it's a reminder, but it also takes me straight through to it. So I suppose the tip for me is to get a spreadsheet and literally look at where you are marketing the business and measure everything, but also look at how you can literally quickly hyperlink through to places that will help you. And of course, any shortcuts to any blogs and websites and things that you follow as well. I mean, I've got in my browser, I've actually got a bookmark. Not a bookmark, a folder full of all the sites that I want to look at, so I can just get to them quickly because it's a time game at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and that's again exactly what I do. Is I've got a spreadsheet that's got everything on. It's got all my social media, because I track everything, so down to the hours that I get the most engagement across the different platforms. I look at that information because that's readily available elsewhere as well on the internet, but I also then overlay my information measures on top of that. I have links to all of the networking side, as you say. So I have one that's called networking. I've got my podcast links on another one. I've then got a bookmark, as you were saying, on the web browser that takes me through to different websites that have great information that you can repurpose and share. So you're sharing other people's content as well that you find useful. So yeah, there's just so much. I think
I've got that. I've got hashtags. I just checked it quickly actually while I was listening to you. I've got all the hashtags as well that we think for specific posts as well. So if we're going to put a post out on our social media to make sure that we are consistent with those hashtags, we've started to look at that more now as well to measure the engagement back on that. And the other thing actually I've got on there was quite interesting is I mentioned about the SEO search engines and keywords as well. But also the business networks again, and also, and this is such a simple thing, it's just got the key dates for local publications of their deadline days. So we know once a month we can click on there and go, right, okay, that magazine has got a print deadline of X. Right, if we're going to supply an article to get it into print, that's when they need it by. We just send them over information, and if they publish it, they do. But at least we've got it in, and we're not going, if only we'd done that. So we actually ask those publications for, a couple of months worth of, or a couple of editions worth of deadlines for their print deadlines, and then it's up to them if they publish it or not. But yeah, that's the other thing that's in there.
Which I think is probably a good way to land on, because for me, you've come back around full circle into that plan. You have that plan, and it is in there. Ready and waiting, so there's a certain time that you need to do that by, and it's done, and that is fundamental. We can get distracted a hell of a lot of the time, and very, very quick, and what you get distracted by can be a very, very much of a time drainer. So don't ever think that you've not got enough time, because you have when you start to analyse it very much. But I think that's probably about right for us. We've done 30 minutes or so, which is what we normally do. And it was just a little conversation on the challenge of marketing your business. If you're a small business, don't give up on it. Keep it going. Spend time. get on it and just test stuff. Always be testing. I think that's another one that I'm known for, is just saying always be testing with your marketing. So thank you very much, Simon.
No problem at all.
Yeah, and have a great week, everyone.